Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is the review of the Honor 20, a mid-range smartphone coming in at £399. This is the best mid-range smartphone I've used this year, the best looking as well, and here's why. The design of the Honor 20 smashes it, absolutely smashes it. The back and the front is obviously glass, solid metal frame, but it's that colour and the reflection of the glass, the light, it is superb. The camera butts out a little bit, so around the edges and the ends of the phone we have USB Type-C with a speaker grill. We also have, which they seem to maybe have copied off Sony do this a lot, is incorporated the fingerprint sensor within the power button, which is a nice touch. It looks great as well, with the volume rocker up and down just above that. At the top of the phone we have an IR blaster as well and a microphone. On the other side we have a SIM tray, and within that you can have 2 nano SIMs. This phone certainly looks stunning. On the front we have, it's only an IPS LCD panel, but it does look great. It's really, really nice. And the display is 1080 by 2340, 6.2 inch display. Now if you look very closely on the front of the device, with the earpiece, there's a tiny earpiece at the top which they've cut out. They have crammed in a LED notification light, which is great, and that blinks obviously when you're charging and obviously when you have any messages that you need to read. So performance, this is the best performer this year that I've used on my channel. It's powered by the Kirin 980, which is also found in the Mate 20 Pro and the new Huawei P30 as well, P30 Pro. So that in itself is a great achievement for the Honor 20. It's also got the Mali G76 MP10 GPU and 6GB of RAM, and I can tell you now it is the fastest phone I've used this year. The OS is slick, opening and closing apps is really, really quick. Obviously dependent on data and network connection when you're opening certain applications and loading, but overall it is superb. I did a gaming review the other day on the Honor 20, absolutely smashed that as well. I ran PUBG on pretty much the maximum setting, although it doesn't allow HDR just yet, so ultra high frame rate. Right. Asphalt 9 as well in high settings, and absolutely smashed it. It was over an hour of gaming, and the device did get quite hot, which is to be expected. But nonetheless it is a great gaming smartphone as well. Another speedy thing is the fingerprint sensor. It is the fastest I think I've ever used, actually. Just a slight touch, bang, it's unlocked. Amazing. Even the Face ID as well, as you can see demonstrated here. Fingerprint is fast, Face ID is fast. I don't think I've even had a time where it's not unlocked with my fingerprint or my face. So it is amazing for the price for a mid-range smartphone. I've had people complain that I don't talk about call quality. Call quality is pretty much a given in any smartphone that I've used. That's why I've never really mentioned it, but I'll mention it that call quality is fine. I can hear people, people can hear me, microphone is great, and audio quality is great as well. So let's jump on to the battery. It's powered by 3750 milliamp battery, and it also supports quick charging as well, and you can get around up to 50% battery in 30 minutes. So first of all we have a screen on time of 6 hours and 16 minutes. Got me to 10 o'clock at night with 3% left. Pretty much a full day. The best day was 7 hours and 58. That got me to 9 o'clock. I was on it quite a lot that day. I had to put it on charge, but screen on time is very, very good. Another day, 6 hours and 18 minutes. This was at 11:15 at night. So again, another full day. And another one, 6 hours and 40 minutes with 11:47 at night. But if you game on it, this was the day I was gaming for that gaming video. I did over an hour and a half of gaming. I got 4 hours and 28 minutes of screen on time, and that was only 4:30 in the afternoon. So if you're a heavy gamer, you will need to charge it throughout the day. But overall, I think the battery is pretty good. So it comes with Android 9, and over the top, it's the Magic software. Magic user interface version is 2.1.0. And I really like the operating system. It is very slick, like I mentioned in the performance, but there's so much more you can do on here. Obviously security settings, you can do all sorts of security settings, app lock, private space, safe. Display, screen resolution, you can set that as well. It's smart at the moment to reserve battery. It does have NFC as well, so that's another great feature if you use your phone to make payments. Easy projection as well, so it's got wireless projection. That's another great feature. You can also hide the notch, which I think is a bit pointless. So you get the little band at the top. Wouldn't know why you'd need that anyway. But yeah, operating system's great. Plenty of settings there for you to mess around with and to tinker for your needs. And the device is kept up to date, obviously with security patches as well. Go about phone. Well, the last Android security patch was 1st of April 2019. So I never captured or recorded any Google navigation GPS on the smartphone, but I can tell you that GPS is absolutely fine. It's got a 13 foot accuracy at the moment indoors. The GPS works absolutely fine on the device. I can run a quick speed test for you now. So I'm on 4G on the EE network. See what speeds we get. Okay, 6 down and 7 up, that's about average. I've seen better, but that'll do. So let's talk about the camera, shall we? On the back of this beautiful device, it has 4 cameras. So the top sensor is a 16 megapixel super wide angled lens. Below that is the main 48 megapixel. Below that is a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And on the right, the tiny one all on its own, is the dedicated macro lens, which is 2 megapixels, and I'll go into more detail on that later. Obviously they look brilliant, and I think they look great on the back of the smartphone. Switch to the front and we have the new hole punch design on the display. That is a 32 megapixel front facing camera with the ability for bokeh mode as well on there, artificial intelligence as well. Overall, the cameras on this smartphone perform brilliantly well, and here's some of the shooting settings you can do on the camera. So the camera, well, the rear camera we're going to switch to now has a few settings. So this is full screen at the moment at 7 megapixel. There, look, full screen 7 megapixel, which I think looks great when it's covers the whole screen. I do think it looks great. And then you can go to 9 megapixel, so it's just a square like that. Then to 12 megapixel, it's more standard I suppose nowadays. Then 48 megapixel. And then the 48 megapixel AI Ultra Clarity. So when you take a picture of this, so it's great for shooting still objects and scenery in good light. You have to keep your device steady for a few seconds. And there we have it. So there are about 5 different modes there for camera. I know it's only 7 megapixel, but I like this. It fills the full screen of the phone. Looks great. Also on the right hand side here you have the 1x and 2x optical zoom. Anything more than that is digitally enhanced. And then you there at the back you have wide angled lens as well. Front facing camera is pretty standard, 32 megapixel. You have a full 20 megapixel setting as well, so you have a 24 megapixel square. Then you have 32 megapixel. So those are the shooting settings for resolution on both the front and the rear cameras. Okay, so there is the tiny 2 megapixel macro lens, and I have used it a few times and it works brilliantly well. It says up to 4 centimeters is the optimum setting. So I took a couple of pictures with the macro camera enabled, and then I quickly switched to the main camera, tried to take the same photo at the same distance, and you can clearly tell you know, obviously it's not going to focus with the main camera. So that macro lens is doing a good job. So I've included some shots in order of, so I shot a wide angled lens, then 1 times, and then 2 times optical zoom. Get some great results in there. The ultra wide angled lens, those photos look absolutely great, and it does a pretty good job on the 2 times optical zoom as well. The Honor 20 has a super slow motion setting as well, and again you get some great results in that. There are a couple of settings within there you can alter and change the frame rate. But the pictures are great dynamic range, nice and vibrant. Bokeh effect is really good as well. And then video, we have up to 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p up to 60 frames per second as well, and then 720p. All have electric image stabilization, seems to be. 1080p at 60 frames per second. The video is really steady, and I like it a lot. Yeah. This way, lot. We'll go this way first. Yeah. Okay, let's try 4K, 30 frames per second. Oh, for the squirrels.
Oh, is you
Nuts. Are you nuts?
Yeah.
I'll let you admit it. EIS is enabled as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't get up.
Okay, just say cheese.
Cheese.
Aria.
I'm doing a video, but cheese.
Why are you doing a video?
Up.
Let's go to the banana
Get you out.
Well, let's go to the
1080p selfie camera on the Honor 20. Now we have direct sunlight.
what? We're not going that way, Lord. Let's leave them that way.
God, that's sunny. Look at the clouds.
Toby, it's over there, darling.
Beautiful.
I know, and
Okay, so I'm going to show you some footage here. What we're running 720p at the moment. Does support HDR then, look. 1080p, 60 frames per second, HDR. Hopefully internet connection is good enough to buffer. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful display. You sometimes forget that camera is actually there on some parts of the video. Pretty damn good screen. It's only an IPS LCD display. It's not a Super AMOLED or anything like that. It looks pretty darn good. Audio quality test on the Honor 20. I can tell you that the loudspeaker is pretty good. Solid sound. That's max volume. That is a solid loudspeaker. I've heard louder, but maybe the louder loudspeakers have less control of the frequencies and everything, because all the frequencies there to me sound solid, very good sound quality, and a decent level of sound as well. So for me, great loudspeaker as well. Okay guys, so this pretty much wraps up the smartphone review on the Honor 20. If you have a budget of around £400, then get this smartphone. Obviously there are a lot of mid-range phones that I haven't tested, but this is pretty much a complete smartphone. It has everything. It performs brilliantly well, and that poll I did a couple of weeks ago is performance in gaming is the most important thing, and this performs brilliantly well. Battery performance is very good. If you're a heavy gamer though, you will need to maybe take and a charger with you wherever you go, something like that, because you won't get through a day if you do heavy gaming. Great camera features on the back and the front, the macro lens, the wide-angled lens, the 4K video, the steadiness is brilliant. Just the design as well is amazing. The fingerprint sensor is the fastest I've ever had or used, and the Face ID as well. It's just a complete smartphone. So yeah, that is the Honor 20, guys. A very, very good mid-range smartphone. Thanks for watching. Take a look in the links below. There are some affiliate links there if you want to purchase this, or if you want to purchase anything via my affiliate links, I will get a slight commission, which does go towards my channel. But any questions, guys, please comment below. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.